Hi, just a second here. Let me zoom in a bit. There we go. Now I can't see the screen or anything anybody's typing right now. I'm hoping that if I just get started, um, my computer, my laptop that's in front of, that I have over at my live area will start up. I don't know why it's not starting up. Don't you hate that when your computers won't work for you? Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing all right. Maybe before I start, I'll go over and I'll say hello to everybody. Who's here today? Oh, I can see my desktop at least. It's a little bit messy. Sorry about that. Molly, is this your first time watching? Welcome in, Molly. Today I'm making, if you look over, you'll see the little birdie. That's a Post-it note holder. I'll show you in just a second. I'm just trying to figure this computer thing out. Kathy, are you still there? Okay, let's see here. Oh, thanks very much, Molly. Hi, Kathy. I've been gone for a few weeks now because I've been traveling and then I did a market. So I had to make a bunch of things for the market, which if you don't mind me running and getting things, I can show you what I made this cute little notebook holder. I don't think it's safe here. No, I don't see it. Okay, well, I can run and get those. Hi, Kathy. Did I say hi, Kathy, already? I'm sorry. It's you guys have an advantage because you type, so you can see what you've already said. Anyway, so let me go over to my desk and see if I can make it a little bit more presentable. And I'm zoomed in a little too far. And then let's see here. Oh no, that's too close. Oh well. How do you like my mess? Oh, that's too close. Sorry. Oh no, did I just turn it off? No. Ugh, now I'm really having problems. Just a second here. Sorry. No, 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 computer. Oh, there. Okay. So. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, 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 it's like the Titanic or something. Okay. See if that works. I guess that'll do. Does that work? Hi. Is everybody good with that? Okay. So today, let me show you here. Sorry about the rolling around of my chair. Ugh. It's one of those days, you know? So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to make, I made these today, earlier. I'm making other things to do for markets. But basically, you know, market days and things like that, little craft fairs. And So this is one of the things I'm making for the back to school show. And it's a little beach house. And what I figured out was, yeah, I just have to look backwards to see if I'm in frame, so forgive me. What I figured out was that the Lawn Fawn treat box add-on sets are 3 inches wide. And these Post-it notes are, you guessed it, 3 inches wide. And I did a little bit of figuring yesterday. I tried to use the treat box as the, oh, I'm gonna sneeze, sorry. I tried to use the treat box as the case for the Post-it note, but that just didn't work. What worked is just cutting and scoring these little, I guess, folios, for lack of a better, a little case for the I'm sorry, for the Post-it notes, and then decorating them with the add-on set. And so I made these cute little ones. They're so adorable. And I have to tell you, seagulls are pretty important for me because my grandpa, when he passed away, he was in Australia and he was a merchant marine. And so he had his ashes thrown into the ocean and he said he was going to come back as a seagull. So that's my grandpa sitting there on the little piece of, on the little, I can't talk, on the little log in the front of the little beach house. So yeah, these are very, very cute. I had so much fun making them. They're not very difficult. And one thing that I'm working on is I'm actually, like, I cut these with my Cricut. I cut and scored them with my Cricut. So in the future, I'm trying to make these into files that I'll be able to share with you. So that you can make your own if you have a Cricut. So that, but I'll also share the what's it called, the measurements, etc. as well. So that being said, let me see here if my computer's starting yet. It was very, very uncharged, so maybe it just needs some juice in it before it will start for me. Let's see here. Okay, nobody said anything, good. Okay, so that being said, let me start off by, and another thing that was cool about this, if you're looking for projects for either gifts or something to sell at a craft fair or the Christmas fairs, I'm actually going to do some Christmas houses of this after I'm done with what we're going to do today. But I found this to be really cool because I did wrap some chipboard and use a chipboard backer, which makes it a lot more sturdy and something that will actually last for a long time. So people can just glue another set of Post-it notes in there and when they're done with that set. So, and anyway, these, what I found cool is I could cut the measurements. I could cut 6 from one 8.5 by 11 inch piece of chipboard. And so that's, so that was really fun and really good. So just to let you know, this piece of chipboard measures 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And at some point I will write all this down. Just bear with me as I get this project done. Anyway, so it's 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, and that just leaves us a little bit on the side to be able to put our pen holder. And we wanted it a little bit larger than the actual Post-it notes. So we'll start off with those. And I'm going to put my little pieces away for now. Then I took a piece of paper. Now this paper, it's like a very inexpensive, what's it called? Hello. I got a visitor. She doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to see you, but she's visiting. Anyway, I don't know. It's just like a craft paper, and I got it. It was either Michael's or Joann's, and it was just their paper And so it's not a very thick one, but I figured since I'm just wrapping the chipboard, what does it matter, right? And I was going to use a different color for this, for the school. Oh, sorry. This is actually a schoolhouse. We're going to do a schoolhouse one right now for back to school. And so I was going to do, I don't know what color. Oh, I wanted to do like a blue, like the sky, I thought would be cute. And then put a little piece of grass underneath here. Am I in camera? I hope I'm in camera. Anyway, so put a little piece of grass underneath here. But it turned out that I didn't have any blue. So not in the pieces that I wanted to be able to make this. So I was like, why not just use this? I like this kind of nice neutral color. It actually looks not dissimilar from the chipboard, but just a little bit nicer color. Anyway, so what I did is I took a piece that measures 2 inches larger on each side. So it's 5 3/4 wide by 5 1/4 high. So I can get 2 of these out of each piece of paper. Then, so what I would do is the way I cut it is I first cut the side, and I would cut an inch strip off of the 8.5 inch side. So I'd have, it would be 11 inches and it's an inch wide. So I would cut 2 of those, and then I would cut my 5 3/4. Okay. Then, oh no, not 5. Yeah, 5 3/4. And then that way I have these are actually my holders for the pens. Okay, so what we do with this is, because it is a little bit thinner paper, I wanted to be able to fold it over to double it up to make it stronger. And this actually works really well, because if I take the 2 pieces from the side, it's 1 inch by 11 inches, and I just fold it in half at 5 1/2 inches, and that's a big enough size to be able to make this box and then leave some underneath, so it's got a nice sturdy application to it. So that's what we're going to do with that. So we'll start off with this piece that's scored 1 inch all the way around. And let me put away my scoring board. I don't know why I had it out. Oh, I was scoring this. Anyway, and let me see, where's my glue? Today I'm using my Nuvo glue. I'm very excited about that. I love my Nuvo glue. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do, and this has been working for me, but I do just a little bead, and I just go around and around and around. And then I'm going to put that inside my box. And then I'm going to use my bone folder and press down really well, because I want to get that glue all flat. Because if you don't press down, then the glue can dry in that squiggly pattern, and then you can see it through the paper, and it just looks awful. So there's that. Okay, now we need scissors. Oh, I didn't turn off the lights. Let's see here. There. Now you don't have the light blowing up at you. Yes. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut these edges. And I'm not going to cut all the way to the point. I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch, so that we have a place to fold it over, so we can get it. It makes sure that the piece of chipboard is all covered. You'll see what I mean when we get to that point. So I'm going to do the same on all 4 corners. I'm not measuring it, just cutting it and making sure that I cut a straight line with that little edge there. Okay, so, okay, now the next thing we want to do, sorry about that, I'm gonna clean up as I go, I guess. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put some, I want to put some glue right along the edge here. between the chipboard and the paper. I'm going to do a little bit up here, and then I'm going to cover this for the most part. Not too much, but and I try to keep it away from the edge. And then what I do is I tip it up like this, pressing down hard onto that edge so that it starts to secure. Let me make sure you can see this. Sorry. So it starts to secure to the chipboard. The cardstock and the chipboard start to stick together. Okay. So that's that. Let's see how it works. It's pretty good. So then I take my bone folder and I kind of rub it along the edge, and then I do this and I keep rubbing until I rub it all the way over. And I try not to get it on my, this is a Teflon bone folder, so it doesn't really matter if the glue gets on it. It comes right off. Doesn't really stick to it at all. But I'm going to just leave that glue there, because then I can hopefully use it to secure this side down. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pointy end of my bone folder and I'm just going to tuck those corners. This is that little 1/8 of an inch, you know. So I'm going to tuck it over, and that gives it a little bit of a an edge, and it'll cover up the corner. It wraps the corner, I guess you'd say. So you just do this like so, okay? And I've pushed this down really well. Now we're going to go to this next side. I'm going to go here because the glue's real thick right there, and I want to get that pressed down as quickly as possible before it dries too much. So I'm going to just cover this up here, do the same thing I did on the other side, and again push this down so that it joins up. Yay! These are so much fun. They just turn out so cute. Okay, and then I'm gonna just, it's taking a little longer, so I'm just rubbing it along the side, pressing down. Oop, more glue. Now, if you keep having too much glue, you can just get a baby wipe and wipe it off, and then it'll dry and it'll be fine. Okay. What's nice is this side will not be seen. It's mostly covered up, but that'll dry and it'll be fine. Okay, now we follow this process all the way around. Let me make sure my little corners are. And we follow it all the way around until we have all of the sides done. Okay. Now, when you're mass producing these, what you should do is you do this part, you do all your cutting, and then I would recommend doing one thing at a time. So do all of your wrapping, because then you're in wrapping mode and you just go quicker and quicker each one that you do. Let's see. Okay. And you push it around. Last week was birthday week at my house. So we had 3 of the 4 members of my immediate family matriculate to another age. Or I don't know if matriculate's right. Turn a new age. Which is, I'm the last one to go, and that's at the in the middle of August. So now we have a break. And then we wait until next year. Actually, I should say, my little puppy Daisy, my little Pomeranian, her birthday was on Friday. She's the first dog I've ever had that I know her birthday. So that's kind of fun. Let's see here now. Okay. so now I'll show you up close and personal. I'll try at least see how the corners are all nice and even and covered. And so that's our back. Pretty easy, huh? Now to create our pen holder. Okay, our pen holder, as I said, it's 1 inch by 11 inches. It's the side of this page after you've cut 2 away. You can get 2 from each 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. The one thing you want to make sure when you're doing this wrapping with paper is make sure whatever paper you use does not crack when folded. You know, you want to make sure it's a good quality paper. This is like a craft paper, and it does not crack when, as you can tell from the edges, it does not crack when folded, so it worked well. Okay, so I folded it in half, so now it's 5.5 inches by 1 inch. Then I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to put it on the scoreboard, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. I think that's enough. And then you just fold each crease and score it. I was watching this comedy routine the other day, and I was so insulted because it was something about craft ladies and crafting. Oh, I did too many. Okay. Anyway, so it was something about craft ladies and whatever, and it said, you know, crafting, when you make something and you go and you spend a lot of money and you make the same exact thing and it costs more money and it's not as good. And I was just so mad. I was like, you know, I spend a lot of time trying to make quality items to be able to give to people as gifts or sell people or whatever, you know, or even when I'm teaching people how to make things. So yeah, I don't like that comedian very much. He's a twit. That's what I would call him, a twit. Okay, so what I did is I scored it and then I folded it around. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually only need to do 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inches. And then I folded it around, and then I folded it around. Is that right? Yeah. Folded the first piece on top of the base. So I made my little pen holder. And now see how it has a nice little edge here? And what I found is, now I'm going to put, with this measurement, what I found is I'm going to put glue all over the back because I want it to be nice and secure. Okay, and then I found to put it right where my 1 inch mark is what I do. And then I put it almost all the way to the edge because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't have any purpose being over here. So, so then I push down with my bone folder and I put it right there. And so then it just lines up nicely so it doesn't stick out too much, you know. So there's that. I'll give it a little push in here. There we go. Now this piece, people will be able to see. So I do try to make sure it's tidy, nice and neat. Doesn't have a bunch of glue sticking out, you know, things like that. Because you know how you see the shiny part of the glue sometimes when it dries. That's like my, I don't like that. Okay, so now we have that. our next step is gonna be to find a thing of Post-it notes. Or did I already put? Oh, there. I want to use the yellow Post-it notes. I'll be right back. Daisy, it's okay. Yes, Molly, there'll be a replay on this for sure. Sometimes if I take the replay off, if I know you were watching it, I will send you a link. But in this instance, this will be up because these are really cute. And I think this video is going well so far, right? Famous last words. Okay, so now the next thing is we're gonna take our Post-it notes, and I take off this back one, so it's just a Post-it note. I don't know why, that just between the paper and it's just too easy to get it off, and so I'm afraid it'll fall apart. So then I'm just going to put my glue in a square or a circle, or maybe a square and a circle. I do a little bit of both. And I'm gonna, oh, I didn't tell you about this piece. Okay, this is the piece I cut on my Cricut. And it's scored at 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 6 5/8 inches, and 7 1/8 inches. So those are all the places I scored on this one. And again, this is one that I actually did it on my Cricut, so I should be able to share that file. I'm just figuring that out, so give me a little time to figure that out. So then I put the glue on the Post-it, on the back of the Post-it notes, and I'm going to line it up with the second score line down after, you know, so that it has cover, it has a little roof. See? And I'm going to just center it and make sure it's centered and push it down. And then I like to flip it over and press down really well. Make sure it's nice and stuck. I like sticky situations. No, just, I don't know, I'm being silly. Okay, so we did that. So now it's in there. Now the next thing we want to do is attach it on here. Now after this, you can do whatever you want really to what's it called? Decorate it. You know, you could do a number of things. You could even take this part off and just have it be like this for just to have a cover on it. But since I like to do these little, I wanted to do these little houses, I wanted a little roof line. So that's why I did it like this. And they're stacked on top of each other like this, and that trains the lid to stay closed. Just to let you know. Okay, let me stack those up again. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to get it ready to put onto the, oh, it isn't 3 inches, it's 3 1/8 inches wide because I wanted to have a little bit of overlap on the, between the notebook and the cover. Now I don't have the right pins for these yet, so I don't have them completed. I need to, and look, it just sits right in there, centered with the same edge on all three, on the 3 other sides besides the pin side. And again, I'm going to take my bone folder. This thing gets, you know, it's like, they're a little bit more pricey, but it sure does get used. So really on the scheme of things, I think it's pretty inexpensive because I use it so much. And because it's the Teflon, it just runs over things so smoothly. It's great. Okay, so now we have our Post-it note cover on there. And we're gonna kind of, now we gotta put stuff on it. And one of the things is this. Now I used the whole 8.5 inches. Let me see what I did with this one. Let me look. Yes. So I think there's a score line. Oh, okay. There it is. So there's a, because it's done on the Cricut, I only have a 1/4 inch at the end because of the parameters of the cut lines on that. So I did still make that 1/4 inch cut line. And what I do on these ones, I actually did them by hand, and it's a 1/2 inch cut line. And what I did is I fold it over and I glue it down, and that adds a little bit of weight, which helps, again, helps the cover stay down. So with this one, I'm just going to fold over that 1/4 inch mark and just glue that down. See how it just adds a little bit of weight? I mean, can you imagine that? I don't know if, and we don't know, this isn't going to be seen per se because it's going to have a roof on it. So so we're going to just push it over with the bone folder again. See, it's so good because it gives it a real nice fold and crease, and it pushes it into the paper so it really sticks well. Okay, so that just adds a little bit of extra weight. Okay, now we can start decorating. Let me see here. Where's my glue lid? There. Okay. Any questions so far? Oh. Let me show you how the pen fits. So there's where the pen fits. Wouldn't these make great little gifts and party favors and such? I think they'd be so much fun. Oh, I wish my kids were young. So now let me get these things out. Now we're going to use the spring house add-on, and we're going to do, I think we're going to do a roof, and we're going to do a window, and we're going to do, we won't do a cloud. Let's see here. We might do a tree. Tree might be cute. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. How do you do a tree? Oh, you do the little leaves in it. Oh, no. I guess this is the tree. Oh, this is the this is the tree. I thought this was a cloud. That's funny. Oh, we need some windowsill, and we need some tree, and maybe some grass, and maybe a fence, and definitely a door, and a butterfly would be nice, a little tiny one. We'll see what we do. I haven't planned this one out yet. So sorry about that, but I just ran out of time. You know how it goes. So I saw this schoolhouse online, and I'm going to kind of follow that scheme. So that means that I'm going to do a yellow roof. How's that for yellow? A nice yellow school bus yellow roof. And we're going to do a green door. Yeah, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, that's cute. That'll be cute. Okay. I'm going to do a green door. I kind of want to do a green door with white trim. So I'm going to cut it out in both colors. So I'm going to do a little bit of white, a little bit of green. Oh, we need trees. So we'll do some green for the tree. And then with some of it, like with these ones, I just colored them in. I didn't worry about it. These are a little bit bigger, and I did the white for the door and such. So since these are bigger, I'm not going to just color them in. But with these, that's what I did. That's why this is needing a little touch up. but that way I could just do them all, and I just cut them all out in white. So if you're going to do the major components in white, you might as well do the other pieces in white as well, and then you can just color them. It's easier, trust me. Especially when you're doing all these little pieces. So then I need some white. Let me see here. Oof. Okay. Still with me, Kathy? Let's see here. We're going to do a thing that's going to be white. Oh, you know what? I'll do those all together. Okay. Let me just start. Sorry about the noise that is about to occur. Wish there was a way to mute it, but there really isn't. Now, with the roof, it's not exactly 3 inches, so it's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut 2 of the roof and then cut up the roof to be able to add on to each side. I'll show you how I did that in a minute. Okay, then we just do that, and just layering it up. I'm going to do this in white, this in white. And this I'm going to do in yellow. I don't know. I'm going to do that. Ouch. Okay. Oh, my tree fell apart. Oh well. Maybe we can do something with that. Let's see here now. Let me show you the roof real quick, so you don't have to. Oh, well, it's good that I wasn't going to use it all. So what I'm going to do, and I'll have to make another one now, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off 2 of the pieces, like so, and then put them at either end of my roof line. And then that'll fill in the space. Just careful with my glue, not too much. And I'm just going to put it right up at the edge. It doesn't have to go over the edge. It just needs to go right at the edge. And I'm lining it up with the score line. Okay, so we're doing that. There's a little fold. I love the little folds. So cute. Okay, then little back to school treats for the teachers. I think this would be a great use for these. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. And then we can just take our full roof. Now, first I'm gonna fold over at the score line, so I don't have to do that when it's attached on there. And then I am going to, I think that's good. Okay, I wanted to just check it out. Put some glue on. Okay, and then we're going to line it up with the score line and center it. As much as anything, I'm lining it up with those little bits, you know. then flip it over. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attach this to the front here, to the other piece. I didn't need to do that if I was folding it under or over, but now the way I'm folding it, it will be better. I love this glue. It works so quickly and so well. Now, the piece I'm not going to be able to do is I'm going to make a little sign for the top that says school. So I'm not going to be able, I was going to do that on my Cricut, but I didn't get enough time. Sorry. Now see, after I've, like right now, it will want to do this. But after it all gets put together, and then if I just have it have them piled on top of each other for a while, it'll stay down. So that's a good thing. Okay. So there's the roof. So far, so good. What do you think? Is it cute? And as I said, there'll be a green sign up here that says school. Now, let's get to the other pieces. I messed up the door. Let's see. Let's do the door. Let's do the white bits. That's what I'm going to do. I just have these windows all together. I don't need it all because some of it cuts out the hole in the house if you're doing the house. But I just want to keep them together. So it's not that much paper. I'm not too worried about losing it. You know what I mean? It'd be a scrap typically. Okay, so those are the pieces that I'm going to cut out in white. And I'm not going to mess with it too much because I just want it to cut. I'll be more careful and get more use out of my paper when you guys aren't waiting. Okay, so we got that. I'll take all those out. I love the little fence, isn't it adorable? Okay, so now we need to do another door in green. And what else was it? Oh, the tree top, that's right. So we've got the door. I'm going to just color the tree bottom, so I'm not worried about that, but I figure why not just, actually, you know what? I'll color, well, let's just do it green. It'll be fine. Okay. Let's hope that this stays in place this time. Because I just want to be lazy and not get out tape. I just want it to work. You know how it goes. Okay. Now, let's see here. So what I'm going to do with this door is I'm going to paper piece it. I just want to put the front, I want there to be white trim, so it has the same trim color as on the windows. So I'm just going to gently cut the door off at the score line. Okay. And then I can just put some, where is the door? There it is. Then I can just put some glue on the, I'll just put some glue in a few strategic locations. And then put that on there. Okay. Okay. So there's, sorry about my doggy. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little piece of yellow and put that behind there. Oh, but I don't want this yellow. It's too bright. So I'm just going to cut a little piece that'll go back behind there. I think this will work. Here's a little square from one of the windows. And so I'll just color this in a lighter yellow that I have just sitting here. It's Y13. And I'm going to do the same thing for the windows too. Just to give it a more finished look, because we don't know what it looks like inside, right? So it makes you kind of imagine that there's lights on inside or something like that. So anyway, let me just put that on. And nobody will be able to see the back anyway. So I'm going to just see about that. See if that works. Yep. Got a little bit more off here. And okay. So then, yay. Let's see here now. Okay, so there we have our little door all put together. And let's put some glue on it. I want to definitely put it around the edge. The center kind of stays in place anyway. Unless, of course, you open it. But you want to put it around the edge because you want it to hold nicely. Okay, so we'll put our little door here. Just wiping on the edges. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. So there's our little front door. Now we want to do a tree. The tree's here. Oh wait, let's do the window next. So here's the window, and I got to do another little square of yellow. And I'll just cut that from here because I should have used that square, but I didn't. Which is fine. Either way, I would have had to make it work, right? Okay. So then I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take some glue and put it on my window. Some on all the corners. Okay, then I'm going to put my window down on top of it while it's flat, and then I'll just cut around it. Okay. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, so now we have to position our little window on there. It's fun how it comes together, you know. The other thing I might do is, like, I was trying to think of how to make it like that there was a steeple, but that doesn't look right. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's the suggestion of the schoolhouse. Maybe it doesn't have to be exact, right? Okay, so there's our window. And now, let's see here. What other things could we put? Should we put? We could put our little fence. We know we love a little picket fence, right? Oops. Just have to hope that that dry. Oh, oops. Just wipe it away. Hope it doesn't dry shiny. I hate that. There's our little fence. Then I had oh shoot. Oh, that's right. I wanted to cut this out of the yellow so that it matches the rooftop. This is actually exactly what I saw online, that it was beautiful. The color scheme, I liked it so much. Okay, let's see here now. There we go. We could even go so far as to put little flowers in there and all kinds of things. Although if I'm mass producing these to sell, I have to think about how much people would actually pay for them, so that I don't take too much time. Otherwise, I just lose money then. You know. Okay, so there's that. That's cute. Okay, so now we have a tree trunk. Here's our little tree trunk. And what I want to do is I need to color it brown. Okay. I'll let that dry for a minute, and then while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to figure out. I wonder if I should put it over here in front of the window. That'd be kind of cute, wouldn't it? I was going to put it over here, but it's too close to the door that's the same color. So if I do it over here, it's not quite so, well, but then, maybe what I need to do is change the color. So what I'm going to do is I have this green marker. Let's see if we can change the color. Oh, yep. And it's not exactly the same color. Yay. That works, doesn't it? Okay. There we go. What do you think? It's not the same color anymore. Okay. Good. I'm going to do another layer on the bottom of this tree trunk. I will check and see if anybody's commented in just a second here. Sorry about this. My computer still is not working. I hope it's not broken. I have to reboot it. Okay. So then this is going to go right here. And what's nice is we have this little edge here, so we can kind of just go right up to it. So even the branch is just a little bit over it, you know. Okay. And then I'm going to pop up this tree trunk with some foam. Let's see here, which is the right side? The other side. Hopefully this is gonna fit. Yes, good. Oh, but let's see here. I don't want to put it on all of it because it's gonna be over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the tree where I want it to be, or where it's gonna be. Now it's there. Okay, so I'm gonna put the tree there. Then I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna put a little bit of talc powder on it. And deactivate the sticky. So it still gives it some dimension, you know what I mean? But it won't be sticky. And this was in the trash. And it makes it smell cute too. Okay, so then we've got our tree. And then all we need is our little sign at the top that says school. You know? What do you think? Let me go over and check out and see if anybody's left any messages. I'm gonna put, maybe we need to put this the other way. I'm gonna sit this on top of it for a second. Let's see here. Okay. Hi everyone. Now I can see what people are typing. Oh, people aren't typing. Let me go. I'm going to go. Now I wanted to show you some of the things that I made for my craft fair. If you just hold on for a second, I'll run and get that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to bark. Okay, so I didn't make a lot. I wanted to, it was my first craft market for, I hadn't done one in a while, in a few years actually. And so I wasn't sure what people are buying and all of that. So I was a little unsure and I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't want to have a house full of cards, for example. And so I made a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So some of the things I did was I did some of the mini composition notebooks and I covered